Yeah. Enough of that crap. The real boss is taking over. Oh no, he fell on the floor. What did I do?
Oh, I feel bad. That was too funny, dude.
Well, hi, Johnny. Hello, everybody.
Hi. Hi, hi.
Welcome to the Titan Talks today. We're going to be all business. I need my glasses because I put some notes on my phone
That's
because this shit is serious today.
that's right. That's right. Well, Mona's getting in the chair. It's always serious.
Yeah, I know. Well, first of all, I hope a lot of people are going to jump on today because we're going to talk a little bit about some of the girls out there. We always talk about the guys, although most of the stuff that you guys talk about, it's also obviously good for women.
Right.
But because we don't like bring it out and say, hey, this is for women as well all the time, they probably think it's just for guys.
Yep.
So we get a lot of DMs and say, hey, can I use this peptides? This is good for women. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. But we know that peptides are actually, so many of them are great for skin, hair, fat loss, energy. I mean, you name it, memory, just all around aging gracefully and staying as young as we can, I would say, right?
Yep.
So, John, when it comes to women, because I know I had a baby, menopause, and all the above,
Mm-hmm.
um, you have a lot of, as a woman, a lot of symptoms, after 45, right? When you kind of feel that the menopause is kicking in. Some of us are early, some of us are later.
Sure.
But, we get the sweats, we get tired. When you're tired, you're lazy and stuff does not get done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go to the gym, right? You get achy. The body's getting achy. You just wake up one morning. It happens to me. And it's like, oh, my shoulder hurts, my back hurts, I can't move. What's going on?
Sure.
With that said, the immune system as well, everything,
Mm-hmm.
everything is changing as we
Yes.
get older.
Yes.
But for us, Mike and I, we're really, really lucky to work with Titan Medical because it's keeping us at the pinnacle of, I would say, probably we're living our best life right now. Okay, because we are literally protecting ourselves from being achy, from being non-energetic, from all that stuff by just using some of the greatest peptides that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you guys. You helped a lot. I'm telling you. And especially with Mike going through all his projects, I text you a lot.
Yeah.
Johnny, I need some extra stuff. Mike has no energy. I need glutathione. He's doing double glutathione. We got to,
Oh man.
and I always text you because he got really low on weight for the movies that he's been doing,
Yep.
shredded,
Yep.
and he had to keep his energy levels up,
Right.
right?
Right.
And everything that you could imagine to stay healthy, he had to stay on track and he doubled the dose.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So, with that said, can you walk me through, for somebody that, um, as myself, goes through menopause, no energy, ache, and all that, what would you recommend for some of these women? What peptides would you say yes, and what peptides would you say no?
Sure. So there's a whole bunch of different peptides out there that do a number of different things that Mona went through. And females are going through all different things. Even if they're not going through menopause, they might be having some of these symptoms like low energy, fatigue. But when you start going through menopause, that's when everything's starting to go downhill, right? And that's where you might feel a little depressed. Your skin might be bad, hair might be
Yes.
brittle. You're losing that. Vaginal dryness happens. You don't have no energy, foggy thinking, just like guys. So, I mean, when you're going down menopause side, you want to kind of look at a blood test and kind of look at hormones there too as well. But peptide wise, what can help you there peptide wise? Peptides, there's a number of different peptides do a number of different things. So if we're looking like hair, skin, and nails, we can look like GHKCU, like a copper peptide type deal. But we don't want to stop there too, right? So if we really want to slow down the longevity clock and say, listen, we want to, keep ourselves as young as possible for this time period that we can, then we want to look at like a growth hormone releasing hormone peptide, like testosterone or CJC with ipamorelin, something like that, which is going to raise natural growth hormone levels in your body. So it's not doing anything else with any other hormones. And it's raising your natural growth hormones. So it's actually helping you as far as staying younger, hair, skin, nails, libido, in all in general. I mean, that's where it really comes from. So that's one. If we're looking at like mental clarity or anything like that, we want to look like NAD, like C-Lonk, which is another one. C-Max is another one. These are great for mental clarity, long-term and short-term memory too, as well, because some people lack in those areas, especially as we get older. When we talk about glutathione, the mother of antioxidants, this is a fabulous one because this really does help a number of different things from building your immune system up, right? Helping with liver function. So a lot of people have fatty livers out there. And at that point, they don't know what to do. They change their diet and it's still fatty. Well, glutathione can help that too as well. And we're talking about, something that goes against free radicals in the body. People really don't talk about free radicals. They really don't understand them. Free radicals are something that we pick up all day long when you go outside. Our body needs a certain enough amount of free radicals, and otherwise, after that, it starts damaging other things like DNA and other things like that in your body. So, it's really crucial to be able to have something that's going to support the immune system in and outside. Um, and there's a number of other different ones like BPC and TB500. When we talk about injuries or aches or inflammation in the body, because people wake up and they might have had different injuries throughout their career, even as females. They could have been female athletes or just had a bad day in a heel and cracked an ankle, right?
Yes.
Okay, or somebody not athletic, just out there, whether in their bikini, slip on a deck, or all these different things, and they hurt themselves. And they're like, what do I do after that, right? And they might go to some rehabilitation, might not, but BPC and TB500, BPC 157 especially, these are great healing peptides for acute or chronic injury that females or males can take big time advantage of and heal hopefully faster and better.
All right. So let's go this way. Skin well,
Elasticity.
elasticity, my
Yes.
Romanian coming out.
Elasticity.
Yeah, let's talk about that. And then let's talk about fat loss, which is a huge one for women. We all want to like lose
Yep.
fat. Even if we're like, even myself,
Yes.
I'm in decent shape, I still want to cut back on
Of
fat.
course. Of
So
course.
let's talk about that for women.
Yeah. So skin elasticity, as we get older, our skin elasticity is not so good, right? And then you see, skin, drooping or not coming back in. This is, big time with maybe morbidly obese people or overweight people that lose a whole bunch of weight real quick too, where the skin is not came together or tight again. So with this, what can you do to help your skin elasticity and help it in general? GHKCU, the copper peptide, is going to be your go-to for this. This is going to be great. Even injectable biotin can help hair, skin, and nails too as well. You can always pair it with that or take these separately. But GHKCU is going to definitely help with elasticity in the skin. Now, when we talk about weight loss and unlocking fat storage, there's a number of different peptides that we offer. Obviously, we offer, GLP-1s, Reta, Tirza, Sema, and then at that point, we talk about 5-amino 1MQ, which is a capsule you would take that will unlock storage of body fat. That's real simple and easy to do, or Sloop 3322 as well. Um, Tesofenzine to help with curbing more appetite function too and help burning fat. So there's a number of different peptides that they can do that will help them unlock fat. You can take all these peptides together, or you can take them separately as well. And if you're, your head spinning because you don't know what all these terms mean, you don't know what's going to do the best for you. That's why you call our Text-Type Medical Center. And at that point, our medical staff is going to help you navigate your journey, which path you should really take by taking some crucial information we need about your health history, your age, the symptoms, or what's really going on, right? And then we'll characterize or put together a personalized regimen for you and put you down that path and make sure your success is there too as well.
All right. And let's talk about testosterone for women as well.
Yeah. So listen, hormones are a big thing for males and females, especially as we age. We all know that hormones are going to be in decline. And at that
Right.
point, they decline, negative things start happening to the body, right? Whether it's physical or even health wise, right? Internally. So we need to really look at these hormones. And the best way to do this is through a blood test. Blood test is going to show you all your different hormones. And we do a full in-depth blood test for males and females that's very simple and easy to do around the country nationwide. But with testosterone. So testosterone gets a really negative stigma from people in general. I think it's lowering nowadays because people are understanding that, as a male or
Right.
female, we both have the exact same hormones in our body, different
Yes.
levels. Okay. So we got to make sure that we optimize those levels for the right gender, whether it's a male or female. There's only two genders that we would do this for. And at that point, females, they get the exact same symptoms a male would if they have low testosterone. That's low libido, foggy thinking, low energy, fatigue. Your recovery sucks, right? You've never been like this before in your life. What is wrong? Am I not getting enough caffeine in a day? No, it's not that. It's your hormones are off. So at that point, when you fix your hormones, you can actually, reap all the benefits of these things and maybe slow down on some of the other things like stimulants and stuff like that you were depending on to get you through the day. But, in a physical attribute way too, as well, your body will respond when it has the right testosterone. It won't respond if it doesn't. And that's for a guy and for a girl.
Right. Well, women think that if they do testosterone, they're going to grow a beard. They're going to be, So that's not the case because obviously you guys doing blood work and you will direct them to the right dosage where it will help them to just kind of stay healthy. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And that's why it is so essential for them to pick the right provider.
Yes.
By picking the wrong provider, you have blind faith in that provider. You might not know all these different things in terms and dosages and what should be best for you. And they put you on a dose and you're consistent, you're following what the doctor says, and they jack you up. And at that point, for a guy, listen, we have a little bit more testosterone. It's okay. It's more of a masculine hormone. But for a girl, when you do this and you overrun them, with this testosterone level, facial hair will come. That's what girls don't want. They don't want facial hair. They don't want hair on their body where they didn't have it before.
No.
They don't want a deep voice. They don't want to sound like me or one of my other guy friends. And they don't want clitoral enlargement. They don't want a little baby thing, right there. So these are things that can happen, and these are permanent things.
Yeah. And that it would happen if they buy it in the locker room at the gym.
Yeah, or if you're putting if you put a high dose of testosterone injectable or something like that they're not mining correctly. That's we pick up the pieces from a lot of these different patients that come to us afterwards, and I want them to have the education beforehand to really know kind of what they're getting into and
right.
Right? It's been crazy.
And just as a reminder for everybody out there that testosterone, yes, it's injectable, but you also have cream or
so
right?
For females, we don't really like to start with the injectable unless they've been down that path before, because it could be a little bit too much. And if they inject a little bit too much,
I hate it.
Hit them. So we like to start them off on a cream or a gel or a sublingual troche they can put underneath their tongue.
Oh, okay.
Balls taste really good. They don't have to inject themselves. They don't have to rub a cream or a gel on themselves. We know what the absorption rate is going to be. It's going to be 70 to 80% absorption. So it's going to be a pretty good absorption, and it's going to work very well. They'll notice that day the testosterone in their body, right? It's something they would have to take every day, though.
Right. Well, thank you, Johnny. I just wanted to jump on here before Mike and just kind of let the ladies know that we could also be superheroes. Yes. If we're doing the right thing and if we get on the right track, and we don't have to complain about being tired, being whatever that may be. So I appreciate that. So for all the ladies out there, I hope that you are taking notes, and I want you to know that, yes, there's a chance. There's a chance for us to stay where we are and feel like we are 30 years old again. For us older women. I think Jeff has a question, right, Jeff?
Yeah, real quick. While you guys are we're talking about testosterone, I keep hearing conflicting things. I talk to people at the gym, and some people, and these are people, that's why I'm asking you. Some people are saying that, if you're doing your TRT, you should do one big dose and then let that just go throughout the week. Other people are saying, no, you should take 2 and do it sub-Q. Other people are saying, no, you want to take an even smaller dose and do it every single day. So I'm hearing things from all over the place, from nobody's. That's why I want to ask you.
Yeah. So listen, the take the one dose at one point in a week, that's out the door. Unless we're talking about some bodybuilder who's doing an extreme amount of dosages, and you know what I'm saying.
Why is that? Right? Why is that a no-go?
Sure, it's a no-go because of this. If you take 200 milligrams, and you'll ask patients that have been on this regimen before, Say, listen, you take your whole dose on Monday, right? So it's 200 milligrams. You're taking the 1 ml on Monday. Cool. You start feeling good a couple days in, right? Like, yep. But at the end, like Saturday, Sunday, you're starting to feel on the lower end. Like,
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it's the exact same thing why I wouldn't recommend
So it's going like this.
Go straight up,
Yeah.
right, Jeff? And then
Yeah.
wears off, and then you go straight up.
Is the wear off so low that like you it's like if it goes to like 1500 on day 1, is it going like it's not going to like 1200 by like day 5, or it's even lower?
It's going lower. And your body is feeling at that level, right? So like at that point, like it's feel like that. And as you start going down, they start feeling bad. But most of those people on 200 milligrams, they might hit 1500 tops, and then it starts going down, and they start feeling great. So the whole point is, and plus you're putting your body through like a roller coaster ride where it's going up and going down, up and down. Why? We should have it up, stay an even keel across, so it's a consistent level, or you're feeling consistent across the board. It's not, putting the body in shock, like, oh, we're losing now. We got to, I mean, it's something that we should be consistent with. Pellets shoot girls and guys straight up. They take them way over. And then at the end of that, like 2.5 months, they feel like garbage and they can't wait for those pellets to get reinserted again. So they go jumping right back up again. So be consistent with it. Now, to do the subcutaneous injections, I probably wouldn't recommend subcutaneous injections to anybody. I know that's the big hype and trendy thing to do.
Yeah, I keep hearing about it.
So, when we talk about injecting testosterone, we're talking about injecting oil, whether it's MCT oil or grapeseed oil. It's not meant to be shot subcutaneously in the skin. So it can cause irritation. I've done this. So like I just did the Pepsi challenge because when I started this, people were talking about this 12 years ago. And there were some people doing it. So I'm like, all right, well, let me see what the big rave and craze is. I blood tested, trust me, on the 2 separate doses, I blood tested a lot better than I did when the subcutaneous doses.
Mm-hmm.
But it would cause irritation. It would cause, like a little bruise. Like, listen, somebody that's aesthetically pleasing, they don't want that on their body. I know Mike would flip out if he had something like that underneath the skin, especially on his stomach when he goes to lift his shirt. It's like, hey, what are you doing there, bro? And like, it stays there. It's like a little knot. Like, water will stay there a little bit when you shoot like HCG or something with bacterial static, but you shoot there, it's even harder. Like it'll break down. Like it will break down, but at that point, like it takes a little bit more to assimilate with the body, right?
And you personally found a better response intramuscular when you did your blood test. Okay,
that's how the medication is supposed to be injected.
Mm-hmm.
Companies, I mean, I don't know if they've done any. I've seen a little bit of testing on subcutaneous, but I mean, by far, there's more on intramuscular injection of testosterone. So,
see, that's why I asked you.
Yeah, and then
instead of
every day, I wouldn't recommend pitting every day. I seen Dr. Rand McClain talking about it too, and he doesn't recommend subcutaneous injections either. He recommends taking the dose. He's probably splitting it too as well. Like when we got into the business and we were starting this 13 years ago, everybody was on the 200 milligrams 1 time a week or 200 milligrams every 2 weeks. That was the other one that was going on. It's full practice by some practitioners out there that I see patients coming from. So, and you really feel bad in 2 weeks. But at that point, splitting the dose, man, that's the best thing. And the other thing is, if people really want to be consistent and they really want that no drop-off effect, they would get a tri-blend testosterone from Titan Medical Center that has propionate, enanthate, and cypionate in it. So they have all 3 esters where they're releasing it at 3 different times in the body. That is the ultimate testosterone for a guy to take and is the best because you have the best of all 3 worlds.
Wow. Thank you.
Boom. Clip that, everybody. Yeah. Clip that. Enjoy the day. There we go. Hey, thanks for taking some time with Mona there.
Yeah, of course. I love Mona, man. It's good. Getting those girls involved too.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought I covered the girls, but you know, I'm in LA. All right, what do we got here? Yes.
Oh, I got one more.
Go.
Real quick.
Well, shoot, yeah.
Real quick while I'm here.
Well, you're lit.
Before I start slinging these out,
Please.
We are 3 weeks away from the Olympia.
Yeah.
If I wanted to jumpstart my fat loss and come into the Olympia looking better than I am right now in 3 weeks,
3 weeks.
what would you recommend I do? Assuming my diet is on point.
Yeah, Retta, ECAs, and 5-amino 1MQ. I think that's the winning combination is those three. If somebody really wanted to get maximum weight loss real quick, go on the Hermes ECAs if you can get them, and at that point go on some Retta. I would say in 2.5, 5 amino 1 MQ, those three right there, like you're unlocking fat storage, you're optimizing your body internally for your pancreas to work better, insulin response better, and to shred you up, plus retaining muscle there. And the 5 amino 1 MQ, we're talking about unlocking that storage, inhibiting the NNMT effect there, and at that point, really just getting as much as you possibly can.
Booyah.
I mean, I could listen. If you really had an expenditure, I would say, listen, testosterone, Retta, ECAs, Hermes, 5 amino 1 MQ. I think that would be good if you did that.
Yeah.
Because I listen in testosterone, like I see effects within the first 2 weeks. If you're somewhere where you're doing well already, and you're strict on your diet and everything's there, I think testosterone is a really, really big game changer for patients. And if they pair that with Retta, that is the ultimate combination. The only thing I would add in is that Hermes, that ECA, just for more energy and thermogenesis. And at that point, you're rocking and rolling because
Hermes.
Yeah, that it's an ECA. It's just the dosage type is our probably the top we have, and I think that we promote anyway. But I think that's the game changer. Those three or those four, if you could do those four. If you had to do two, I would do Retta and ECAs just to do it real quick. If you
and do I need blood work for all of those?
So you don't need blood work for any of those. All you have to do is fill out the new patient paperwork on tightmedicalcenter.com, and at that point you'll get a visit, which we're doing expedited visits. We are running and gunning now. So at that point, like if they want to get in, we'll get them in real quick. If they say, hey, listen, this is an emergency and I need to get in Olympia shape, we'll get you in tomorrow. Fill out the new patient work tonight. I'll get you in tomorrow. You'll get your medication this week. I'll pop it out. I'll make sure. I've got some other pharmacies I've been working with too. So at that point, I've been trying to work on some really, really quick turnaround times for patients.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
One quick, you've talked about this a couple times now, the amino 5, the 5 amino.
5 amino
MQ. Yeah. So can you explain to the new viewers today? We're picking up new viewers every single week. And so I just want these guys to really be up to what Johnny and Titan Medical is doing.
Sure. So 5 amino 1 MQ it's another peptide, right? But why is it so good? And this is really, really want to break down. And this is super, super cool. And this peptide will actually help NAD levels. So it will help NAD, right, increase, which is just another benefit of it. It will also, inhibit your NNMT, which is nicotinamide N-methyl transferase. That's the legit term of it. Sorry if I butchered a little bit, but that's what it is. And what this does is when you inhibit this unlocks your fat storage. So, your fat, especially in those areas, those hard areas, like your obliques and everything like that. Yeah. So, those fat areas that Mike has right there, it will help unlock those areas and start pushing. So your body's like, all right, listen, we need to start using this fat as energy because that's what it is. It's stored energy. And at that point, you'll get out there and you'll start burning it.
All right, guys, we are here on Mondays or Tuesdays, usually Tuesdays, but I'm flying out tomorrow. So wanted to get in here with Johnny today and kind of go over this and some of the great things that Mona talked about earlier. And so go back to watch the start of the show was especially about women as they get older, and especially for you girls that are going through menopause or have gone through menopause. So it's a huge thing. What do we got here?
Natural proteins or protein powders. Natural proteins. You can get your proteins from food, dude. That's natural. You want that. If you have to get a shake in between or something like that, if you're out and about, then do it. But focus in on eating like whole food, like your good food, right? Like I totally like did this in the last couple of weeks, and it just eating my own food, right? And not even ordering out from like Uber Eats, like chicken breast or anything like that. Just like trying to cook my own food and eat it. So It's the best way to do it if you can do it. If not, you got to start looking for, a place you can order from that you can eat these whole foods from.
It's an interesting thing. We've lost so much information with the overload of nonsense information.
Yeah.
And so there was a beautiful basic in the 70s and 80s and 90s of nutrition and stuff. And the go-to, and even Joe Weider would say it, is like, go with the food over the drinks. But now the drinks are great if you're at work and life is busy, because life's not perfect.
Right.
So get it in there. But it seems as though the difference for people today is so minute. Well, there's no real difference. And they completely forgot how the body, by chewing, by eating it, by the body functioning to digest it, by the way the body is such a beautiful, beautiful work of art, does so many more things. And it's interesting that people keep setting themselves up to fail later. It's, again, have fun when you're young, but don't destroy your future. And so you got these young kids that are into now in their 20s fasting and just protein shakes or bars and stuff. And it's like, protein shakes are great, 100%. But again, go back to that basic fundamental of eat your meals, eat every day. And mostly if you're trying to build muscle, the whole fasting thing blows my mind for somebody going, my body's not functioning well, so I'm just going to stop eating. Oh, that's going to fix it. Good job.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
That sounds like a logical terminology, right? It's just like, so it's, I feel bad for you guys out there. Again, I'm going to teach my son, and my son takes in 2,600 calories. He's 6 years old.
Wow.
And he burns that but he's also 6 and he's doing 100 things a day, but he's young and growing. And for some reason, people think the older I get, the less food I'm going to do or eat, right?
Right.
And there is some great studies out there showing that actually your body needs more protein as you age instead of less. It's like, don't run away from food, guys. We're here talking to the owner, the man that created Titan Medical over a decade ago. But his foundation is, please eat right.
Yep.
Please eat right. And then on top of that, use Titan Medical to optimize or fix any hiccups you may have.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the end of the day, that's a great thing that you do. But I just want you guys out there to understand that. Let's go for another question, Big Johnny.
It's a big one. What do you and Mo do with your dog's nutrition? I have 5 little ones. It's a good one. I don't know what you do for your dogs. I order from this nutrition place and give them this top end dog food for mine.
We do a couple hamburgers a day and a little bit of kibble later at night.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we treat. And again, it took me a long time because I'm a dog lover. I just love dogs. And I've always told my vet's great. He's great. I say I'm a dog lover. I'm not a great dog owner because I want to spoil them. I'm probably that kind of a parent that wants to give the kid candy all the time.
Yeah.
So if you understand the concept there, folks. So I would love to give my dog treats and all that stuff. And back in the day, if I was finishing a meal, I'd give it to them. If if it was a high day and I was having pizza, I'd give them a slice. And I've learned that's not the way to go, So yeah, I'm that dog owner. You can yell at me. So it's a couple, I get a couple Kirkland, what are the Kirkland burgers?
Frozen patties?
Frozen patties a couple times a day, and then a little bit of kibble. That's how I take care of my girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it seems like I've been lucky. My dogs are all reaching a good 15 years for big dogs. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
That's for sure.
Now, Johnny, you have like the savages. You got the I don't know, the greatest of dogs. These things are
Titans of dogs.
Yeah, the Titans. So you do a high-end kibble kind of a thing? Is that what?
I mean, they eat filet mignon with me every day because, like,
Ooh.
I'll give them the scraps of that and stuff like that. So they'll eat filet. I'll give them Life Abundance and it's like a lamb and rice type deal, and it's real. So at that point, it's a little bit of kibble in there. But they'll eat like some real food with me too. Like I'll whether I put a couple more steaks in there for them and just let them eat that. But that's kind of what they eat every day. For treats, I use Pure Bites, and Pure Bites is just freeze dried like beef or chicken if you want to get that for them. And like that's what I give them as treats through the day. So that's it. I only feed my dogs 2 times a day. I feed them a quarter cup every single day, and that's it. Because they're athletes, right? Like I see some people's dogs, and the people's dogs are obese and overweight. My mom is one of them. Every one of her dogs looks like a packed sausage dog, and it's like, man, like what would you feed this dog? All the scraps and everything every single day. So, my dogs are athletes. So they're like an athlete, they eat what they need and that's it, not eat for an abundance.
That's because you're a good dog owner.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to work on that. I need to continue to work on that. What do we got here? How many days a week should you work out?
If your goal is to be a bodybuilder.
Ooh, great question. So this is really, John, we can agree that this is, you want the pinnacle of muscle growth.
Yep.
So this would be a great one to talk about recovery.
Yes.
To give you an answer, what's your answer for this?
My answer is how many days you're going to take for recovery, and then are you enhanced at this point? Because somebody that's being enhanced or using some peptides or something like this can probably recover a little bit quicker than somebody that's not. Just depends on age and where they're at body wise. But I would say you're going to at least want to train like 3 to 4 days a week at least. I know some guys will go a little bit more, but recovery is key. So if you can't recover fast enough, then you can't train more in that body part, right? So at that point, like, you got to see, I guess we got to see how he's recovering, one, and then kind of set a schedule for him, what he's going to lift. But 3 to 5 days is my, like, that's what I would say, depending on how you're feeling and everything's going.
Yeah, I would go with, you got a great opportunity right now to ask some real good questions. So this is a good start. And we're going to be here for a bit. So I would ask a couple more questions. The young me would say 5-6 days a week, the young me. And then there would be that 30 to 40-year-old kind of guy going, all right, I realize you can only train as well as you recover. And the reason why I said today's a good day to ask questions is because Johnny here can make you recover faster than you can do any other way.
Absolutely.
And so here's saving time. I would train with Tom Plaz or Lee Haney or Dorian Yates. I would train with these guys, do the same stuff. And I thought that was great, except in no world was I recovering as well as they were recovering. So I shouldn't have been doing as much as I did. And so this is your opportunity to go, okay, so I would like to train 6 days a week. How do I work with Titan Medical to make this a possibility? Maybe more glutamine and aminos and all those kind of things. John has Hercules Potion there that I am an advocate about, especially I train like a moron now. We're I think 13, 14 days straight now.
He's being generous.
Yeah. If there's a worse word than moron, that's me right now. But I'm utilizing all my Titan Medical.
Yep.
So at night, my sleep recovery, MK, I'm going with Testosterone in the morning. I'm going with my Hercules. So there's things I'm doing that can help me outside of normality, I guess you would say, to recover even better. So I would try to do it a reverse way. I would say train 6 days a week, tell Titan Medical that and say, help me do that. Help me recover, help me get there. Let's make sure my blood levels are right. Let's make sure my testosterone is right and I'm not destroying myself. That's what I would do.
Yep. That's pretty simple to do too, guys.
I know that didn't answer your question, but I just saved you about 20 years of lifting and smashing your head against the wall with no benefit, to where take a couple days to think about this and talk to them, and it's going to save you years. It takes forever. And I did a video yesterday with a guy, and I said, nobody's talking about you can train right, you can eat right, you can sleep right, and you're still gaining a pound of muscle in a year. It's like, that's reality, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe on a great year, it's 5. On the most elite, it's 10 pounds.
Yep.
But it's a rarer. So it's slow. Yep. So any way you can make sure that you're doing the very best you can, I would make those steps. I'd make those steps. It's easy to cut fat. It's hard to build muscle.
Hell yeah.
And I don't want to discourage you. I just want you to be, realistic about this, guys.
It's hard. A lot harder. Especially as you get older. A lot harder. Less cells, guys, are developing, getting bigger. So at that point, Hey, so it says, yo, Jay, remember when I used to copy bottles of drink? Vaughn, what's going on? How you guys doing? So before, I used to, be in all the nightclubs down here. There's copy bottles and stuff like that. You can kind of see where I was coming from before this. This is before Tight and all that. Even, it is what it is. I'm a man of the people.
You are, man. Oh my God.
I'm a man of the people.
This guy's text messages and videos make me tired. I'm like, how the hell is he out again tonight? I got to train at 5 in the morning. This guy's out. It's like, it's a great, you and your girl. I am living through you guys, just so you know. Me and Mona live through you guys. You go, hey, where are we going tonight? Let me see. Let me check their feed. All right, we're out. We're at this event. So
it's just, for us, we just have to be visible. Like, we're just moving and shaking still. Like, if you ain't.
Oh, it's fun for you guys, though. I mean,
it is.
Your work is fun at the same time. I think that's what's great. And dude, you wear clothes. Clothes don't wear you. I guess that's a way to say it, right? Some guys, you see them and you're like, oh, that suit's wearing you. You're not wearing the suit. And Johnny wears the clothes. Right. My eyesight's getting to me. Am I clicking on the wrong ones?
Yeah. I'm too dense. I wake up embedded. My limbs asleep. Getting sleep apnea because of Rick Del Hagen.
I don't know
where this one's coming from. This one's a little off.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
But the way I read it, though, he's too dense. I read this as, hey, I'm pretty fat and my limbs fall asleep and I've got sleep apnea.
All right.
Well, you got sleep apnea because you're overweight and obese. You get rid of that, I guarantee sleep apnea goes bye-bye. Most people that have sleep apnea are overweight or obese. And it's just more stress in the body. So it's a lot harder to breathe, right? So at that point, I would definitely get that under check. I mean, you're falling asleep because of that too as well. Blood circulation is probably poor in the body. So, more improvement, more activity, better diet. I think you'll change the game on how you're feeling and what's happening with you.
Also, I would love to give information from people I'm around, and one person, and you guys can clip this. I think one of the guys I love talking to is Stan Effernan, and Stan talks about the mask and the CPAC machine and stuff. He's an advocate about it. He loves it, and so does Matt Wenning. These guys are, to me, just very brilliant when it comes to health and fitness, and so they love it. And Stan continuously mentioned to me that I should do one of those. I never got to do that and haven't done it. I tried it once. I just didn't take to it. Maybe I should go back and try it again. But he's talking about recover, right? It's like the whole mask thing. And,
I tried it. Can't do it. If you're going to do something like that, you might as well get an air canister, like a real air tank, and do oxygen treatments. Do it before you go to sleep. Do it when you wake up. I know. Listen, I know, Ronnie Coleman, one of those guys. You just carry around an air tank with them. You shouldn't do it all the time because your body will start hey, listen, you might need it later on because of that. So it'll build up a tolerance. But if you use it for certain treatments, like before and after, guaranteed better sleep. Guaranteed. A lot of people don't have access to that, but the real good people, they do. And that's why they do oxygen treatments. Hyperbaric chambers and all that have been the big rave, but A lot of people they don't know this, but
I like the hyperbaric. Except again, it goes back to you do it for a short period of time and time off. I think people get carried away and it's like, if this is great, more of it. And it's like, well, it's not how it works, guys. Again.
Right.
But yeah, you guys, anybody out there, if you have sleep apnea or don't, Stan recommends the machines and loves it, and so does Matt Wenning. And these are two people that I truly, really respect. And it doesn't matter that you get sleep. It matters that you get quality sleep.
Right.
Like anything, guys. It doesn't matter that you work out. It matters that you get a quality workout. Right. All right. So just an FYI one on that, guys. And here's one for Big Johnny.
Okay. It says, hello, I got a question for Mona. I want to train my wife with weights, but she said no. She said if she lifts weights, she'll be like a bulky bodybuilder. How can I help her with this one? Thank you. Well, one, this is not true, right, Neil? I just want to know this, if she lifts weights, she's not just going to become a bulky bodybuilder. She'd have to do a lot more things as far as therapies or whatever it may be, and then some heavy lifting to get like that. If you start, train her, listen, let's start with light weights and kind of go from there. I think if you start like that, or even get her like a female trainer that's very feminine, or, put her to that direction. I mean, a lot of females think that. They think if I lift weights, I'm going to be like a guy and I'm going to get all big, and I don't want to be like that. And at that point, hearing it from another female or seeing another female that's trained, it would give them a little bit more confidence. It would. That's what I do with Sharice, right? I tried to do the training with it was me and another trainer, trying to get her, and it just wasn't working. That's not her gig. So I got her with the chick Ansley, which I showed you a video of her in the gym, and she's super feminine, but she works out every single day.
She's hot. She's hot. Let me just say this: she's hot. The trainer's hot.
Her too, master's and a bachelor. She's got her MBA. So she's not a dumb girl either. So but it's a lot better for her.
Smart.
She's feminine. She wants, she's like, all right, cool. This is what I want to look like. This looks good. So I think that's, that's a big opening for, you to introduce her to a female trainer instead of hearing from a guy or her husband.
Yeah.
Somebody else. I think that would.
I agree with Johnny. I show him some feminine physiques. And that's Johnny's point of view. And I agree with it. And then I would show her, because you look like a young cat. I would show her some of these 80 and 90-year-old powerlifting women. So they impressed me tenfold more than a Miss Olympia competitor, because you got a person that's 80 or 90 doing some silly, crazy weight, but it shows you what's possible in life. And I think if you kind of show her both aspects, here's a feminine physique, this is what weightlifting does. But also on the other side, when we're old and we got grandkids, you're going to be the grandmother that's still healthy and doing it.
That's right.
And so I think that's what's great. Because when you see these 70, 80, 90-year-olds doing these deadlifts, I just love this stuff. They're very tiny, frail-looking ladies, but they're deadlifting 225, which is more than a lot of these kids are, deadlifting. And they're 80, 90 years old, which is, again, I just absolutely love what the body is capable of doing when you have a strong mind.
Absolutely.
Jeffrey, clip that one too. I think that's a great one for just people out there. Because to answer your question, also one thing, buddy, is even guys that go to the gym have that kind of misconception that they're going to get all big and jacked, and they don't change. So, yeah, the girls don't have to worry.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do it.
He's taking sauce.
He's taking sauce. I'm not taking the sauce. I'm taking all the sauce. Look at that. There's no way. Come on, guys. Yeah, and if you're going to do that, go on over to Titan Medical. They will set you up with the Titan of Titan cycles. Find out what it is. Go over to Titan Medical today.
Shredded, big muscle, everything. Got to come your way, guys. Menopause.
Well played. I'm going to hit this one.
Okay.
What do we got here?
What's the single biggest adjustment you've made in your training from your 20s to your 50s? that kept you building muscle and staying injury free? I know what you're going to say.
Biggest adjustment.
Is it the warm up, or has the warm up been the same?
Allowing the warm up. Yeah, I would say too, the allowing of the warm up just gets longer for me. And I get more precise. The one thing I do at this stage is I continue to try to learn, because you're going to always be a new student each decade. Right. You know, the great trainer at 20 that knows everything by 30 is going to go, holy shit, I knew nothing. And then he has to whole revamp and go, okay, this is actually way. And now I've done that as well. I've understood what bodybuilding is. I understand what powerlifting is. And the understanding of what weightlifting is supposed to do, if done correctly, is just basically making you a unit for a lifetime. So yeah, it's the biggest thing is just a little longer warm-ups, which I have no issue with. So I'll give you an example. I think today I was done warming up and the two kids that were training with me were done with their squats. And I just started my squats and then I had a blast. So until everything is firing correctly, moving correctly, anything like that. And then also I'm dried out like a moron, a raisin. Jeffrey, do we have some more questions for this man?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, the Star Boys.
Oh, there we go. What do we got here?
You're ageless, Mike. You represent what lifetime bodybuilding should be. Tips on dealing with hunger when reaching lower levels of body fat, 10% and below. Bad carbohydrates cravings in the PM.
So before, I would say that's just a mind thing. And I fully understand that. And that's the difference between the top tier, you know, and the ones that walk around all year looking great and the guys that fall off. It is the hunger. The hunger gets you, you know. But now there's something out there that not only curbs it, and I'm going to hand that off because I don't know enough about this. And that's why we got Johnny today to talk about this. And this is the greatest thing, you know.
So listen, when using this, you can use two different things to help. One would be Retta True Tide for this would be a definitely game changer. If you even microdosed it, right? That would help. The other thing to pair with this that would definitely help would be Testosterone, would be an oral. This helps like cut some of those cravings too as well, and works really, really well with GLPs. So that's what I would say. Like if you really want to deal with that late night hunger type deal, I think those two would be awesome for you for sure.
Now, which is interesting because a lot of, again, I'm at the Mecca of bodybuilding, and I'm also traveling the world and meeting all the very greatest bodybuilders, powerlifters, health and fitness people in the world. And a lot of them are already doing, your term was microdosing.
Yep.
The Retta.
GLPs,
yeah.
Sema, Tirza, Retta, they're all microdosing those things. Like even like patients that aren't bodybuilders that have lost weight and they want to just maintain to where they're at. That's
right, because we got a guy, this guy's below 10% body fat possibly. And so he's looking incredible. Yeah. Now, is there a side effect to this by doing that?
You're just going to get more shredded. This is it.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, you know who's a big proponent of it, who's been talking about it this whole time up to Olympia is Nick Walker. He's been around it the whole time. And he looks like a freak. I mean, he always looked pretty like a freak, but like he's really, really, I mean, he looks, hopefully he comes in that condition in Olympia. Because he looks. I
haven't seen him. What is he saying?
He's saying he's taking Retta True Tide. You know, he's pretty honest about what some of the things he's taking and stuff like that.
And he's doing that to curb the appetite?
So, well, to shred up too, and the body fat. I mean, like I said, when we talk about like these GLPs, everybody's stuck on the weight loss thing. Like, oh, the weight loss.
Right.
That's great. It's great, the weight loss. But Retta is one that will help, one, retain that muscle that the other two, have got blemishes on their report because those would just, it didn't matter. The other thing about it is you're talking about optimally like your heart, cardiovascular protection, kidney protection, and at that point, like longevity portion to it. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things, but one is for him, like just shredding off that little bit of body fat that's left and be able to retain that muscle, not going through that muscle and sparing it. So, I mean, we talk about it, weight loss is one big effect. That's the one big, but there's all these other positive, other side effects, positive, not negative, that people can utilize and get out of it too as well.
So those are some options for you, my friend. And then just to go back to the old school Michael O'Hearn getting ready for the shows and stuff, I did a big salad at night. There's a big head of lettuce to kind of fill me up and some extra water. And that usually took care of that issue. And this is at the most extreme level. So I was already at a very low body fat and already in a deficit from the nutrition and the training. So I know what you feel like. And I know those late nights, me and Breon talked about it. We talked about when you're laying in bed, and this is going to sound so weird to most of you, but you're laying in bed and you feel like the front of your abs is connected to your vertebrae. You are so hungry and there's just nothing in there. And you're like, yeah, it's that. So I've been there. I've done that. Try the salad if that's something you want to do, or call Titan Medical.
Yeah. I mean, my trick is like carrots or celery sticks. I try to eat them late night. I mean, there's a little bit of carbohydrates in them, I guess, but at that point, those are pretty fulfilling.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, I'm 22 and really want to lose weight and gain muscle. I can't put down the sweets. I try and fail every time. I know that if I wanted it bad enough, I'd do it. Any tips to help? Call Titan Medical Center. Josh, we got something for you that will guarantee you will put the sweets aside, you will lose weight, and we will help you gain muscle. At 22 years old, you should be the best version of you. These are your golden years. In your 20s, like that's everything. Your 30s, you're more experienced, you're more attuned to your body, you start getting more man strength, and then 40s, you're there still, and it might start going downhill for you a little bit. So your 20s, you should really take advantage of. This is the time when your body should respond the most. You should be able to get the most out of your body in your 20s for sure. So you can make these changes very simple and very easy. Just call or text Titan Medical Center. We got you nationwide. We'll help you out with both of these things and improve your quality of life for sure.
I hopefully this will help you too, because everything John's talked about today on what Titan Medical could do for you, yes, personally, 22 can help you. But I also want to give you an old man's wisdom and say that decision that you're making on having the sweets and stuff at 22 years old, I say it over and over again. Have fun when you're young. Don't destroy your future. By you making the decision every other day, every night, having the sweets, that's a habit. And you're letting your brain kind of go that way. And you're 22. I would create the warrior mindset. That's not you. Stop that shit. Stop going to food because you're hungry, or stop going to food because of something, or the girl broke up with you or stuff. Start at 22. Start developing that warrior attitude so you're set up in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
I know it's outside of fitness and stuff, but a lot of this, the decisions that you're not making is a decision. Just remember that.
For sure. Jacob said, I was recently diagnosed with low T in my late 20s, under 250 nanograms per deciliter. I've always been above average muscle-wise. My doc put me on Enclomiphene. Thoughts? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think if you're that low, though, at that point, it might be a discussion for testosterone. I understand why the doctor would put you on Enclomiphene, but in late 20s, early 20s, I would probably go that route. Late 20s, I say, you know what? It's at this level. It's time to really get my T levels up. Do I think Enclomiphene will boost your T levels? Yes, I do. Do I think they're going to boost them to optimal ranges where you're feeling a big difference? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know, though, because it works really well for some people. And for some people, it gets your numbers up, but they really don't get no symptom relief. So, I mean, it really is you. But the other thing you have to look at this is how much Enclomiphene and how much are you taking it, right? So some practitioners prescribe 25 milligrams 2 times a week, 25 milligrams 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, 50 milligrams, which we prescribe to our patients because 25 really doesn't do that just. So 50, and it could be 2 times a week, 3 times a week. It could be every single day. So at that point, you got to look at that, right? Your frequency and what the dosage is, and then the conversion factor. Did you get an estradiol test originally with your free and total testosterone test? If not, we definitely should see that number just to make sure everything coincides when you're taking the medication and there's not like a high conversion. And that way, you're not having any estrogen problems. That's the last thing you want, right? So, these are some of the things that I would look at with your practitioner, or you can run type medical center. Listen, we can run the blood test on you, kind of tell you what you need. If you want to go back to him and kind of have the ammo and bullets ready, you can, or you get treated by us. We're very open with that, right? Like if somebody wants to come to us, get a second opinion on their blood work, we're more than happy to do that. And we're not, oh, you have to order from us, or you have to get testosterone from us. People think that they just can't get the blood test. They have to order something from us. No, you can just get the blood test. If you just want this, you can have this. There's no contracts. There's no, no crazy stuff involved. So, I would get all the information you possibly can about what's going on and make that decision. Oh, so he did answer back here. 12.5 milligrams every other day. That's really, really low. I don't even think we prescribe 12.5 milligrams to any patients here. 25
every other day. So it's coming to what? 50 a week?
Yeah, so 20, 4 would be
around
50.
that range, 45.
Yeah. So at that point, that's what I'm saying. Like what you're taking right now is probably not doing that much. And if it is, you should be feeling a difference, and definitely do some blood work. If he's only getting you up to like 400 or 500, it's time to go somewhere else, right? Like some of these doctors.
So would that be something that, hey, go do this in 8 weeks, get your blood work, come back to us. We'll be on here on a Tuesday and say, hey guys, this is where I started at 250 and I'm at 1,000 now.
Yeah. For
1,000 in 8 weeks. Great.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Yeah.
But if you're at 400 or something, then it's another discussion. Yeah.
It's definitely another discussion. If you're optimal, you're feeling great, and you should feel this within the first 30 days. We usually tell patients 60 tops, but at that point, like if you want to retest 30 to 60 days, at that point, look at it and say, listen, this is good for me. I feel good. These numbers look good. I'm great. I don't feel too good. These numbers aren't too great. What else can I do? And at that point,
was Jacob 20s, late 20s?
Late 20s.
Yeah. I would just say one more thing. Make sure your pullout game is good. I just, FYI. Yeah. So that's a side note.
Yeah. Thoughts on MK677 for a 21-year-old bodybuilder? I think it's great. I think it would be great if you're trying to put on muscle, lean mass, and you have some sort of regimen and your diet is all taken care of, like you're preparing, right? If you're somebody that does not prepare.
Great question.
I think it's great.
Great question.
This is one that I
think
help.
Yeah, but it's just, he's a youngster and we can't stop people. We can only give them the information. And these youngsters, and I was talking to a kid at an expo just last month, and I'm like, you look great. And he was 18, 19, and he looked great. And he just competed at teenage nationals and stuff. And I said, you look great, kid. Keep doing what you're doing. And, I was thinking, because he visually looked natural to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And he goes, no, I've been on since I was 17. And I'm just like, my heart hurt. I was like, oh shit. Just right from, And so I like this because MK is just going to work with his sleep and his recovery and his growth hormone at this stage, instead of going, and I'm hoping, I'm going from nothing to testosterone at such a young age.
Yeah.
And I don't know what his blood numbers are, what his testosterone range is at. But so I just think that's a great question. Good job for you. Yeah. If this is your first stage of going, hey, I'm curious about this, and all the kids are jacked now, and I want to keep up. So
yeah, don't fall like the Trend twins. Don't be getting jacked up. There's no reason to get jacked up at a young age like that. Use what you got, your genetics, fully push it all the way to the limit. When you need testosterone, then get on testosterone. Otherwise, there's so many other peptides out there that will help you. They're natural to the system. They're not going to shut down your natural production of testosterone. You know, I mean, MK would be something I would give Peter. Like that's how much I believe in it. I think there's a safety profile there to a certain degree, especially with younger guys. But you know, it's a good one. It's definitely a good one.
Go for it, Jeff.
White blood cell count. That's one I see on here. That's a pretty crazy question there. So what factors up white blood cell count? So white blood cells, they test CBC, right? When you go in to a doctor's office or physical, you go into the hospital, there's 2 guaranteed tests they're going to run on you in blood work. A CMP, a comprehensive metabolic panel, and a CBC, a complete blood cell count. And the CMP is going to test your liver, your kidneys, your electrolytes, your fasting glucose. Great. The CBC is going to test for white blood cell count, red blood cell count, hemoglobin, hematocrit. Those are the main ones you want to look for in there. The reason they're blood testing this, one, they want to see where these counts are at, because white blood cell count, if it's high, usually means infection or something's going on inside the body, where white blood cell count white blood cells are getting created and attacking whatever is evasive to the body, right? So they're growing, they're multiplying, and they're going after it. So if you have a high white blood cell count, that means your body is revved up and it's going after something that's damaging infection to the body. So that's what it would mean usually. If you have a white blood cell count that's high or trending high, you could be sick. It could be like you're sick with, bacterial infection or something of that nature. Or, I mean, listen, cancer patients, I mean, there's a lot of different things that white blood cell, but white blood cell, like the direction, if that goes up, there's something going on infection-wise or something the white blood cells are they're getting multiplied and attacking. So that's something you should look at with your practitioner if that is going on.
Got a good one here.
Mike, can you build muscle even if you have low testosterone? It's going to be a lot harder to build, guys. A lot. So, like, there's guys that go to the gym, they work their ass off, they eat clean, they're eating the right protein, they're sleeping, all this, and they cannot get a different result of what's going on with their body. Things are not changing. I get this with trainers all the time. And this is why trainers send their patients to us, or people.
Yeah.
There are patients. But the reason is because they're fighting uphill battle. Their body is not working with them. It's not optimal. It's a lot harder to gain that muscle. Can you gain muscle with low T? Probably. Is it a lot harder to do? Absolutely. So lose weight, gain muscle. I mean, sleep patterns will be off, your brain function. I mean, all these different things. So this is something that you should get fixed. And when you get it fixed, your body's going to work a lot better and it's going to respond a lot better too as well, especially with building muscle mass. That's one main thing that drives is testosterone. So there's a reason why bodybuilders take testosterone in the younger ages or whatever, is because, it's going to help them.
I'm going to go with an assumption that the question maybe is more about hypothetical. You're saying there's guys that walk around. I know tons of these guys at 900 to 1,000. And again, I'm talking from the aspect of just a person that's natural, not doing anything as of yet. And so let's stay on that for a moment for this discussion. So I know these guys that are 9 to 1,000, but I've also known guys that are 400 and 500. Yep. And the guys that are 400 and 500 build great muscle, where the guys that are at 9 and 1,000 don't. And you got to remember, most of you, when you're teens and 20s, those T levels are pretty stacked and you still don't build a lot of muscle. So I think it goes back to, again, not just the numbers of what you think, because a guy that's at 500, one of the strongest men in the world, was at 450 his whole career, tested, and is the strongest guy in the world. I've always been a low T guy. And where others like Clark and stuff were always these 9 to 1000s, I've built a lot more size. So it goes with the individual and the outside stuff that we talk about. Are you low T, but also sluggish and no energy? How's your body function at the number that you're at? That's a huge thing, because we talk about this. There's guys that are at 900, but their free is stalemate. And so there's not a function of using what they have. And then there's the guys that are low, 400 or 500, and their free testosterone is at 24. So they're utilizing the best they can. So I think that's a great question. I think it goes off the individual. If you're got your blood work and you're at a 400 to 500, let's say that's low, right? We can all agree that's kind of low. It's not great, but it's not bad. Maybe your energy and everything is working fine. Stay on your diet, stay with what you're doing, especially if you're free is also good. And then you're okay. But again, I think it has to go off of your numbers. It can't be a simple question of, can you build as much muscle? And again, I know you guys just think muscle, but it's medication. So if your body's not functioning right and you can build muscle, there's also this talk about Clark's testosterone level is high, but his free is low. And so again, they're talking about, well, there's going to be a point where you're causing damage to your bones and all this stuff because your free testosterone is in the tanker at nothing. So what are you doing? You're at this age where you're not taking care of your insides. So it goes back to me to just muscle's great. I love it. Can you build it? I would say go out there and make sure your diet's right, and then you'll be able to answer that yourself. But my belief is, yes, you can do it. But outside of that, get your blood work done and make sure that it's functioning correctly and your free testosterone is functioning correctly too. Like Johnny said, there's 400 or 500, you're probably not going to give a young 20-year-old something if they're at 500 and their free is working. It's like, you're just thinking about bodybuilding and trophies. Come back to me in 5 years. Talk to me. I just think you guys, you focus on the muscularity of this so much instead of the health of it so much.
Common theme, huh?
A common theme. Yeah.
That's a clipper.
It's about,
health and fitness industry. We're supposed to be the health and fitness industry, where that's the main thing we're focused on, health and fitness, not just muscle size.
Seems like they're just focused on that one show that they're going to do in their 20s and the rest of life doesn't matter. They're Evel Knievel. I'm jumping this shit no matter what. I don't care if I die. Well, okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Exactly. I mean, what do you want, right? Do you want the 2 days you might stand on stage, you might get the pictures on stage, you might get the photo shoot afterwards, and the rest of your life you look like garbage and there's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? Like I see that from guys, like they do the one thing and like that's it, and then all you have is that one picture instead of you being the picture every single day of how you really want to look, right? And it's just different.
If you're going to clip this, I will add one thing to it. I'm not busting the idea of having muscle. I think it's the coolest freaking thing in the world. I'll take muscle over a fancy car. I'll take muscle over a sick house. I will. That's for me. So just understand that, guys. I'm not busting on you guys are only focused on muscle. I get the understanding of wanting to look a certain way. I'm just saying you got a lot of life.
Yes.
And let's make you the very best you can be that you can keep, right, for a lifetime or as long as you possibly can, relative to peaking and knowing that you are going downhill from your 20s now and you are. So I just want to make that clear that I'm not busting on muscle. I think it's the greatest thing in the world, but I just think focus about a little bit broader than that, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Old guy giving the old, shut up. You won the universe. That's not fair. I want to. I guess I'm saying this. If I had to be asked, would you give up the universes if you could be healthier now? Well, I'm healthy now, so that doesn't work.
Yeah,
but that would be the concept. Would you glad that you won in your 20s and you're broken the rest of your life? Or you get a freaking win every freaking day, Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's a decision that each person has to make for themselves. Sorry about that, guys.
I think
That was a tangent.
That's great. All right. Anthony said, what do you say to the guys at my gym telling me to stop behind the neck pressing heavy, even though my form is good, 20 years old, 5'10", 190 pounds?
Good stack. I would say, yes, sir, I will. And then keep doing it.
Like my coach
would you
might
say?
tell me to do this.
All you're doing is stretching. I mean, at the end of the day, you're stretching in a position to keep your rotation, and you're doing great form. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. And Squat University did a collaboration with my page this weekend talking about health joint and shoulder joint. And if done correctly, like anything in life, you can maintain that flexibility. And then, but everybody's going to say that. But people squat every day, so they're putting the bar on their back, and that's lower than I go on behind the neck press. So it's like, wait a minute, guys. You all do something way lower than me doing behind the neck press, and you guys are saying that. It's like, all right, have a good day. Great physique, though. 5'10", 190 is a good stat kid at 20 years old. Nice job. Take me on some YouTube workouts.
Hi, Mike. How do you mentally reset after setbacks, whether in training, private, or business? And what are your rituals to stay grounded? I know what I do.
Go.
Well, listen, guys, you know, my life and getting my business was not easy, not one bit. I feel like I've had to learn the hard way on everything I've done, or nothing ever came easy to me. Let's put it that way. So, you know, things you would think are just going to come real easy, never do. So what do? You know, obviously I've had some setbacks here or there, but you know, I'll literally like think to myself, right? I'll kind of like meditate on it. And at that point, like find a resolution of what's going to go on, right? Like if it's a setback, how am I going to get over this setback? Dwelling on the setback doesn't do anything for you, right? You will dwell on it for a little bit, and that's okay, because dwelling on it is really thinking about what happened. If you think about what happened, think about it, but at that point, stop complaining and then find a resolution to what's going to go on. When you do that, you can kind of move forward with a plan of what you're going to do, find this resolution to put the resolution to play. I mean, for me, like, you know, a setback is always another opportunity for a comeback. So when somebody tells you no, you know what? You get knocked down, you get back up, you dust yourself off, and you go forward. So that's what I would do. If it was a setback on my part, I would literally think about what happened, what I could do better, or how I could change it. And at that point, kind of go forward and do it. If I can't change it or whatever, then I have to chalk it up, right? And sometimes you have to chalk up those life lessons and take the hit. I've had to do that sometimes too. And that's not the easiest thing to do. So it's not going to be easy to do. It's not an easy thing to say, oh, yeah, let's just take the hit. But at that point, sometimes you got to take it.
That's a great question. It really is. It's a mature question. Wow. And I wish I could give you a simple antidote to coming back. I think I always prepare for those. The worst of two options, and then prepare. It's everybody's different. I've learned in my older age, definitely, I like the nutrition and training setbacks because it teaches me. It teaches me more than when I'm succeeding in the diet and the training. Like today, the school. I realized I put my body through such trauma for this last project that there's going to be the other side of that trauma. From what I did to it, there's going to be a reaction going, to me. And that's what I'm dealing with now. And it's like, wow, this is cool. How do I dig myself out of this? And so for me, I think it's kind of a cool thing and a growing thing. And I think that's when it came to when I went from being a black belt in judo and inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's like, wow, I want to be a beginner again. And then I go over to BJJ. I'm a white belt again. I'm a moron. I'm getting my ass kicked. And I freaking love it. So I know not everything, when it comes to finances, it's a hit in the gut. Relationships, when you get hit, that whole aspect, it's tough. But man, something beastie comes out of it. So that's all I can say. And as you get older and older, you deal with them better and better.
Yeah,
Johnny.
you get older, right? Like the piss and vinegars wore off, and like you pick your battles. Instead of when you're younger, man, you just want to go ham and battle everybody and everything that's going on or going against you.
I think it's a great question, though. That was my favorite question today because it's that's a reality question. It's the guy that goes into the gym, gets injured. You know, it's like, okay, how do I come back from this? All those things, man. It's what we have to deal with. And ironically, I posted something today because I got to talk to the Olympic team in Romania, all these different types of athletes, and I said. The one thing is great is the guy that understands or gets motivated off the great stuff, but also the painful stuff. And to learn to live in the painful stuff is a trait that really separates you from the majority of society. Don't get down on yourself, attack it. It's not an easy thing. Trust me, in no world my words don't match the emphasis on how tough that shit is. You know, so just understand that, guys. But great question, guys. Appreciate that. I like those questions.
Yeah, it's true.
Johnny, thanks for hanging today, man. Sorry about keeping you over.
Oh, it's all good, man. Trust me, it's all good.
Oh, dang! Wait a minute. What's going on with this? See, now when the tricep is separated from the bicep, and then you got this down here, and then these guys just. I'm ready for the Olympia. I'm getting ready for the Olympia, man. We got 3 weeks.
I know. I can't.
Less than.
I'm pumped.
2.5 weeks.
Get everything all set. Got a couple more details to finish up, and we're good to go.
Come by the booth, everybody. 1113 Titan Medical, the Olympia, Friday, Saturday. We'll be there. And we might have a special occasion for a lucky winner that comes by the booth, signs up at the booth to be doing blood work at Titan Medical. We might have a special gift for you guys.
Yep. We will.
Get out there, win the day.
Later, brother.